In the vast landscape of sporting events, there's one stage that shines above all: the Olympic Games, the sport that brings borders together and unites nations in a competitive yet friendly tournament. But what exactly does a sport need to be elevated to Olympic status? The Olympics have a rich history, dating back to ancient Greece in 776 BCE. The first Olympic game was held to celebrate and praise the divine Greek god, Zeus, every fourth year. The Olympics we know today showcase the world's best athleticism and camaraderie. To be part of this centuries-old athletic tradition, a sport needs much more than just physical strength. The journey to Olympic recognition is quite difficult, as it requires a thorough evaluation process by the International Olympic Committee. Primarily, the sport should be governed by an international federation. This is required to adhere to the Olympic Charter, the World Anti-Doping Code, and the Olympic Movement Code, set to prevent manipulation of competitions. The most important factor considered for the evaluation criteria is the accessibility of that sport. Is the sport already being practiced in significant numbers worldwide? Is it easily accessible to the major sports participating countries on the planet? The true international appeal of a sport marks the highlight of its compatibility to be selected. A sport must have strong values, organization, and widespread participation on its back to be recognized by the IOC. Second to global popularity come the true values that the sport holds. To be considered an Olympic sport, it must uphold the highest standard of athleticism and sportsmanship. It should be challenging enough that all participants push the natural limits, discard laziness, and embrace the best human potential they can achieve. No game can be respected and played on a global scale if it lacks discipline. The sport should teach a strong adherence to rules and regulations as its players work hard to compete without losing their composure. After the core values of the game are evaluated, the next question is how committed the sport is to inclusivity and gender equality. The IOC has always placed great emphasis on every sport to ensure equal opportunities for athletes of any gender or background. Once the sport meets the above criteria set by the IOC, it enters a probationary period called the Provisional Olympic Program. Here it undergoes a trial to test its practical suitability to be included in the Olympic Games. The parameters the organizers evaluate during this trial include venue requirements, logistics needs, and spectator appeal. The reason these factors are important is to ensure that after achieving the prestigious Olympic title, the demand for that sport will not die down with time, especially due to any technical shortcomings. However, the selection process doesn't end here. To achieve full Olympic status, a sport has to earn its place first in the official program. This is typically done through a vote by IOC membership. The factors that determine this voting process include the cultural importance attached to that particular sport, its historical significance, and lastly, how it can contribute to a rich Olympic experience. You may wonder, what happens after a sport achieves Olympic status? Getting that status is only the beginning of any sport. The Olympics provide a stage for the sport to become a catalyst for positive change. It attains the opportunity to have a lasting impact on the participants, the audience, and the world at large. When a sport originates from a specific country, it brings several economic benefits to that country after achieving the Olympic title. The increased participation and investment in that sport greatly increases. This provides opportunities for new talents to be discovered and for the country to allocate greater resources, aiding in training and developing strong competitive players. These participants then, in turn, bring back more revenue for that country. The process, thus, boosts overall economic growth and stability for that country. We can never deny how Olympic sports serve as powerful tools for social inclusion. The empowering nature of such a widely accepted and accepting game breaks the barriers of stereotypes and provides opportunities to people from all backgrounds, despite their social status. An athlete with spirit and talent is always welcome to explore his or her potential in the Olympic Games. Lastly, the most profound impact that the Olympic Games have is their ability to promote unity and peace on a global scale. It instills a sense of understanding and empowerment for its audience. The Olympics have a century-long history of bringing people together and transcending political, racial, and cultural differences through a universal language of sports. The Olympic Games are celebrated every year worldwide. In this zest, we need to remember the journey every sport goes through before it takes its place on the world's largest stage for the true spirit of athleticism. From humble beginnings to Olympic glory, every sport has a story to tell. Thank you for watching, and don't miss our next video if you want to find out more about the Olympic Games then and now. What else would you like to know about the Olympic Games? Leave us a comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. See you next time.